Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream. Tonight we are going to discuss all the market updates. A lot of people on Twitter, on X, saying that the bull run is over. A lot of people calling for 70k, maybe even lower. But we are going to cover all the charts and have a look at what we think is going to happen in the coming days and weeks as we kick off 2025, move in to one of the most bullish quarters in crypto. Nice to see some familiar faces on. Drop some likes and we will be going through some of your favourite altcoins. So drop altcoins that you want covered in the chat and we will try and get to them. Macro is just a manipulation game, and while everybody thought the market was going to drop lower, we sold off into it and we've had a nice bounce tonight as we reclaim 95,000. Now people are still claiming there's going to be a head and shoulders pattern play out. Most bears on Twitter are saying this is head and shoulders. So a daily close below this kind of neckline around 91.9 would probably confirm the head and shoulders pattern. But for me, I don't see it playing out. I think we're so far along in the cycle. We've got so much bullish news out there. We've got a week to go until Trump comes into power. And of course, more importantly than probably Trump is his team, the transition team, which are all pro-crypto, pro-business, and hopefully going to fix the US economy. And more importantly for Bitcoin, they're going to turn on the liquidity taps, which is going to be the catalyst for the bull run, as it always is. Bitcoin looking pretty healthy. Be nice to see us close kind of up. Anywhere probably above 95.5 would be very bullish. Tomorrow's a Saturday, so don't expect too much price action over the weekend. But for me, I think the real bull run could kick off on Monday. I do think a week before Trump gets inaugurated, I think the US yields that everybody's speaking about in the UK, the gilts, I think the US will probably have to do some QE, which is when they buy their own bonds. They do it all the time. I do expect that to probably start the minute Trump comes into power, and the DXY will start selling off, which is good for risk assets. We'll have a look at Ethereum. Again, people are calling this head and shoulders pattern kind of here, saying it's already broken down. the target would be somewhere down here around $2,300. Again, I just don't buy it. There's too much bullishness underlying in the market. There's too much buy pressure. The liquidity tap's about to be turned on. We've already seen China pump stimulus into the markets. The US is about to do it. Regardless of what everybody thinks about Trump and his cost cutting, he needs capital and he needs economic activity. And the only way to do that is stimulate growth and stimulate economic activity is with cheap capital. It's the bloodline of every healthy economy is having that capital flowing. Right now there's no, they call it velocity of money in the US. There's not enough of it. There's too much debt but not enough actual real dollars, which is causing the interest rates to rise. Trump's going to have to tackle that day one, because that's the only way he's going to get any growth. So for me, I think that's exactly what's coming. I do think we might actually see some QE happen behind the scenes that they just won't really announce as QE. They'll call it something else. During the banking crisis, they called it the BTFP program, which was basically just QE in disguise. Let's have a look at XRP. So we've been speaking about XRP for a while. This kind of fallen wedge pattern seems to have completed. We're now just consolidating pre-explosive move, in my opinion. I did show in CC Pro. I know a lot of people tuning in will be in CC Pro. If you're not, there's a link in description. But on the 4 hour, we've kind of played out this similar pattern before, where we have a downtrend, we break out of it, and then we drop and just kind of trade sideways for a bit before we get that impulsive move. For me, that's exactly what is going on right now. We've broken out, we're just kind of dropped and traded sideways. We've not broken back into the pattern, and eventually it's just a matter of waiting. And to be honest, XRP looks insane in my opinion, and that's why we dropped our XRP ledger memes earlier today. If you're not in CC Pro, we dropped 5 XRP memes, and the beauty of them is it's like a double win if XRP moves up. So if the meme pumps, you make money. If XRP pumps, you make money. If they both pump at the same time, which is more than likely, you basically double your odds. So yeah, amazing. And we dropped 5 to our members. So if you're not on CC Pro, you would have missed out on that. Alright, let's have a look at the DXY, as we've given it a lot of credit over the last wee while. Probably on the weekly time frame. Yeah, we can see it's making the highest candle close since October 2022. So October 2022 was just before the Fed came out and started raising rates as well, so a key kind of date. I do think we might see one more push up this week. I don't see the DXY getting as high as previous. I think the high for this kind of cycle is in, so I think we might get another week of pushing up in the DXY, and then the first few days of Trump's administration, I do think he'll tackle the DXY or the dollar strength, and there's a number of reasons for that we can maybe cover later in the stream. China, for America, for Britain, we all need a weaker dollar, and the US needs it more than most. Alright, let's have a look at some of the chat. Let's see what's happening. Quick answer, no. Yeah, the bull run is not over. Turn off Twitter. Stop following those mad shillers that call themselves influencers. There's been a lot of bearishness on Twitter over the last 48 hours. For me, that's healthy. That tells me that the bottom's nearly in, especially with the Bitcoin reserve selling 69,000 Bitcoin or whatever it was, 6 billion, whatever the number is. Just utter nonsense. If they were going to sell, they've already sold, and that might have happened over the last couple of weeks. But what a foolish mistake if they have done it. Is Borg going to $10? Let's have a look at Borg actually. Let's have a look on the daily. We've been saying for a couple of days, Borg is just in this coiling up consolidation period, this kind of tight range. What is that range? From 32 cents to kind of 38 cents. It's been in that range since the 2nd of December. For me, this is just a ticking time bomb before Borg explodes higher. We've had this kind of lower phase during the last year from March, where we saw all altcoins sell off. We've now pumped up, consolidating around the previous local high, and that breaks higher in my opinion, and we go to $1 in the coming, I'd say, to be very bearish, I would say this quarter we go to $1. If I was bullish, I'd say in the next 6 weeks we'll be at $1. That's kind of my gut feeling. But Borg have loads coming. BorgPad have another launch this week, and then they have 2 launches coming in at the end of January. So supply and demand pressure on the Borg token, which is nice to see. So $10 perhaps might be a stretch, but yeah, I certainly think $1 will come sooner than everybody expects. Let's cover Linewire. So Linewire still getting a bit beaten up, to be fair, but it is back at the daily MA. Double bottom on the daily MA is quite a bullish chart pattern, as you can see here. I'm still really bullish on Linewire. It's also came back down to this level here. So yeah, I'm bullish on Linewire. I think long term it'll go back to its all-time high. I think it'll surpass that. We could see $2 Linewire in the next few months, which just shy of 10x from here, which would be a really nice move if you've been in CC Pro for a while, because we bought and then sold Linewire during this full move here. If you were in CC Pro, we were buying I think around 6 cents, and then ran up 27x. It's now retraced, so then to do another 10, maybe even 15x would be very nice indeed. And yeah, buy low, sell high, real easy. Sand, Stuart. That is a niche one. We don't get sand a lot on the channel. Let's cover sand. It is here. To be fair, very similar to a lot of altcoins. We'll probably see that as we go through the charts tonight. A lot of altcoins, just the liquidity in the market's so tightly constrained right now. Bitcoin's taken up a lot of it. We've had a few altcoins soak up a big part of the liquidity. Similar again, it's kind of broke out of this bottom phase here, ran up, corrected back down, but it's not put in new lows. Looks like this was probably the bottom here, around 54 cents. Could be a bit of Wyckoff as well. That would be spring test, and then we could see it move higher. So yeah, sand looks pretty good. Let's look at it on kind of zoomed out perspective. Yeah, loads of room to the upside, and you can see it just broke above that March high, just peaked above it, came back down. So I think the next time it breaks that, we could see it stretch out a bit higher up to the 145 level, and then hopefully build support there. And there's not a lot of resistance between 145 and 250, 255. So yeah, it could be one that I think the entire altcoin market, in my opinion, once it gets going, it's going to blow everybody's brains out with how fast the big pumps that's coming. Over the last year, 2 years, a 4 or 5% pump in a day is quite exciting. A 10% or 15% is everybody's going wild. When the real bull run, the real liquidity comes on, you're going to see 40, 50, 100% gains in a 24-48 hour period, you're going to see things absolutely blitz the numbers that MD's expecting. So yeah, I do think we could see something like Sand run quite quickly. I'll check Injective, I'll check Opulus, Flame, inspect the usuals. Just try to see if there's anything new. Do we think Trump coming in could be a sell the news? I mean, it could be. I don't really think so. I think Trump is so needed in the world, is so needed in the US economy, that everybody's just going to like breathe a sigh of relief when Trump finally comes in. You see what's happening in LA, see what's happening across the world. The world needs people like Trump that actually understand how to get stuff done. So for me, no, I don't think it's going to be a sell the news. I also think because, I mean, what are we down, like $10,000 now in Bitcoin? We're down 12.5%. So we're not exactly pumping into the new, into his inauguration. If you remember, this was the ETF decision around here. So we're kind of pumped into the ETF, and then we got this wick up, back down, and then straight back up. So we could see something like that, which, yeah, that would be pretty interesting if we do get that kind of sell-off on the day or two around his inauguration. But after that, we are out of there. Highlighted this pattern on the chart as well. So we believe, and I think a lot of people believe, Q1 2025 that we're in right now is going to be mega bullish for crypto. But the problem in crypto and in life is people have such short-term mentalities. So we're 10 days in and people are already questioning the bull run, losing faith, starting to complain about their portfolio, yada yada, all that. But what we have to remember is this is crypto. It's designed, markets are designed to frustrate. So if we actually go back and look at the October time, so Q4 we spoke about could be the most bullish time in crypto. Q4 was going to kick off, and then it leads it into 2025. So October, everybody saw the meme. So we start October by absolute nosediving into October, down 10%, and then get a little pump. Everybody thinks October started, and then we retrace and we hit another 8% move. So actually from the local high to the local bottom, we were down 11.5%. And in here people are starting to say, so much for October, it's Rectober. Everybody that was bearish was basically saying October was a sell the news event. And then what happened? October then, from the 11th of October to 29th, pumped 22% and actually finished the month up 16%. So the month still finished massively positive. Crypto was up nicely. Bitcoin was challenging and made new all-time highs and was retesting those all-time highs. So it's just about patience. It's just about zooming out. Like, we're 10 days into a quarter, a 90-day period, and people are already losing faith. And this is exactly to highlight this point, is that on the 10th of October, everybody was saying that's it, it's over. We're not going to have a pump in Q4, October, recession, blah blah blah, whatever the excuse was back then. And lo and behold, finished the month up with around, what was that, around 68k. At one point we touched 69 and we were off to the races, and the quarter finished insane with, let's just take it from 1st of October started at 60,000. And after hitting 108, we retraced. Where did we finish the year? Where's the yearly close? The yearly close was 93,000, 55% in a quarter. After starting the quarter down 16%. So, yeah, patience, zoom out. But you've heard it all before.
Your voice recording was enough. I should hang up. What am I doing? So I feel kind of dumb, but I miss you. So I feel kind of dumb, but I miss you. I think of you every day. I hope and I wish that you're doing okay. I want to go back to the old days because I miss you. To tell you that you crossed my mind, and I took that as a sign that I should call and say, I hope you don't think I've lost my mind. I hope you don't think I'm crazy. This message is getting long, so I should just say bye. But the idea of you listening to this, the thought of you on the other side of the line, I can't hang up.
Hello.
Not again.
Hopefully I'm back.
I don't know.
I don't know what happened there.
I mean, I haven't heard from you, but I hope you do. I'll always love you.
Let me know you can hear me now. Perfect. Excellent. T-Smoke, thank you. Don't know what happened there. I was in full flow, but yeah, with Opulus, for example, I think the point is these coins have low market cap, but they've been building through the bear market. They will do well. You just have to kind of be patient. And if you've saw the capital flow in crypto, it starts with Bitcoin, it moves to Ethereum, it moves to high cap altcoins, and eventually it moves to low cap altcoins. That's just the natural flow of crypto capital. So for me, it's just about basically just hanging in there, just being patient, knowing what you hold and sticking to it. Don't get stressed about why another coin has moved faster than Opulus or whatever. If it's I think Flame is getting the heat this week. MV took a bit of abuse at one point. These coins will eventually see that capital rotation, but right now there's not a lot of new capital in the space. So until there is, just have to be patient, know what you hold, and make sure your average buy price is as low as possible. That would be my advice to anyone. Let's cover Injective. Got it on here somewhere. Yeah. So this is probably quite similar to like sand. It's like just in quite a tight range. Maybe still in the accumulation phase. It's not really broken out. What I do like about these this recent pullback is that it just gives altcoins so much room. You look at this, it's a 65% move just to its December high. We then compare that to the March high, which I think will get taken out in the next few weeks. 150% move. So Altcoins have dropped, but it's just great buying opportunities, in my opinion. Buy the dip, and yeah, I do think it'll do well into the bull run. Great move up to take out the December high. So Raz, everyone calling the top equals new highs soon. I think you mean everyone calling. Yeah, aye, exactly. You're right, actually. Yeah. So everybody's saying that's the bull run over. Yeah, that typically leads us to new all-time highs. To be fair, when people start getting bearish, that's normally when market makers turn the market around. And on QE would weaken the DXY. Well, it's at major resistance. Yeah, exactly. QE basically is the Fed prints money to go and buy the US government debt. So the more people that buy government debt, the lower the interest rate on the debt because there's more demand. But they're going to have to print in order to do that. So the DXY gets weaker as the supply increases. What are the catalysts for Bitcoin and alts to hit new all-time highs? Well, I think Bitcoin's easy. The catalysts are ETF, institutions buying, nation states buying, companies buying, governments will definitely buy if Trump follows through with his plan. I think the catalyst for crypto is going to be one. I think there comes a point with crypto that it actually has to go and achieve something. So the utility, like a lot of people that got into crypto, when you first get into crypto, you read about what such and such coin is going to achieve. You then get XRP, it achieves cross-border payments instantly and for like a penny. So you think of that utility. I don't feel like anyone's real world life has been impacted by crypto utility yet. I think that has to come eventually, but it can only come in a friendly regulation environment. So if Trump creates that, could we then see crypto actually being used potentially? And then obviously AI. I think blockchain and crypto go hand in hand with AI, so I do think that could be massive. And I also think the liquidity, the sheer liquidity, take all that nonsense about, if you just care about number go up, liquidity, that's all it's to do with. China's going to print, US is going to print, EU is going to print, UK is going to print. There's going to be trillions and trillions of money in the system very soon. Covered Borg already. Do you believe the cycle top will come in Q4 this year? I'm not entirely sure. I do still think the US and the global economy could have a bit of a crash at some point soon, but we've been saying it for 2 years and it's not really happened. So we could see a 2021 type cycle where we have a Q1 peak and then a crash and then, you know, a run into the blow off top. This was 2021. Or we just have a blow off top Q1 and then it's over. It's hard to say at the moment because I suppose it depends on what actually happens with Bitcoin with Trump coming in, whether it happens straight away or it takes a wee while to play out. But definitely on course for all-time highs soon. I think what everybody has to remember as well is it doesn't matter if Trump does loads from day one. Bitcoin still has loads of legs to run. I still think Bitcoin 200k is easily achievable. If you saw the fibs we've showed before, I think it shows 230, 244 $1,000. Some people say that the April top was more accurate, so that puts it at 225. So yeah, so I think we'll see new all-time high this quarter, but it might not be the final all-time high of the cycle. And yeah, that's why we say sell in percentages, keep a moon bag, and yeah, just take profit. That's the biggest lesson. I think everybody's learned that lesson from November. Maybe not taking profits when Bitcoin hit 108k. Somebody mentioned SHX coin. I don't actually. I didn't think I had it. So it's currently in price discovery, new all-time high earlier today. But the reason I wanted to talk about this, hopefully a few of you from CC Pro got in on this. We did bring it to members back in September. It's currently up 253% since we first called it. And yeah, it's just continuing to go from strength to strength. We're interested to see where it tops out on this kind of little price discovery period. Based on the fibs, it could go as high as 3.5 cents. But yeah, we've been calling this for a while, so hopefully you got in down here somewhere, or even better if you actually got in at the double bottom in November. Who actually asked about, was it Margaret? Hopefully you bought some when we mentioned it. Check out hype. Not really much I can say about this chart, to be fair. There's not enough chart to look at. Only launched by the looks of it on the 5th of December. The one thing I would say is that I think SwissBorg are really hyped about it, about the platform. So I think it's like a Launchpad type platform, and I do think the SwissBorg team have secured listing on it. So yeah, it's getting a lot of hype on Twitter as well, so pardon the pun. So yeah, I do think it'll do very well. Fibs on Orca, let's draw them from here. You could see a $20 Orca, that'd be nice. Does look quite nice on the 12 hour. The 12 hour chart looks very nice. Came back down to this level here. Let me draw it on. That looks like a great, if you could buy it in there, but it might not bounce again. But anywhere down here looks like a great buy, a great support level. Nice move up as well. So what's that? 40% move, just back to the January 6th high. Well, yeah, that is looking pretty nice. Looks like it got killed over the last couple of days. So yeah, I think that'll be nice. Litecoin. Wow, you must be one of the first people that's ever asked me to look at Litecoin, which I don't mind. Well, I guess it depends what your average buy is. Please tell me it's pretty low, like 50. I mean, what did it do? I done $417 in the 2021 bull run. That's insane. That'd be a 4x there. And then, I mean, I don't see anyone talking about it. Anyone talking about it at all. So, what's his market cap? I wonder if I can see that. No, doesn't show me, but yeah, so I suppose it depends on your average buy. I don't see it getting any attention at all, but there's obviously some buyers out there because it stays there. The one thing you have to think as well is a lot of people will enter the crypto market and not have a clue what they're doing. So Some will go or I'll gravitate to new projects because they think new they'll do the best, and other people's brain works the opposite way and they'll think, oh, I should go for something that's got a bit of history, because if it's been around for a while, chances are it's going to continue to stay around for a long time. It's like that brand recognition almost. So if people come in, I think we saw it in December time, or November, December, like all the OG coins pumped, and the argument was that new entrants to the market were just looking for things that were tried and tested, and they just instantly bought the old coins. To be fair, on the weekly chart, it's putting in I would say that's quite a bullish candle pattern. It's dipped down below the weekly MA, but it's bounced straight back up. So you could get quite a nice reaction from here. It's also, let me try and take some of these lines off this chart. Actually look at the area it bounced off. Just in here. You know, support here back in 2022, area of resistance all through 2023, and then it's bounced back after breaking above this level, which it actually got rejected at. So yeah, we could see a decent move from Litecoin. If it holds this, if it closed the week out, obviously we've got a couple of days to go. If it closed the week out, you could actually see a nice reaction in the coming days. Yeah, Dark Machine TG very soon. I think they're listing on Mexi. Don't think I took part in Dark Machine. Maybe I did. I think I took part in almost every single alpha round. Solana ID is doing pretty well, to be fair. I think up 3x. Interstellar, I think it's coming soon. Momate's coming soon. I think Privacy, I'm not sure how many people done the Privacy alpha deal, but it did another round after the SwissBorg round, and it was 3x higher, and it sold out. So that's pretty bullish. Galactica is definitely coming very soon. Carv is Carv, the token, has already launched. Let me try and pull it up. So Carv, for anyone that's on that doesn't know, on if you're not on SwissBorg, if you're not in CC Pro, you'll missed out on the alpha opportunities. They're early round investments over the past couple of years. We've taken part in a lot of them. Probably the biggest success. MV was obviously massive. That was a while ago. Xborg's done really well this year. But Carv, so I think the Carv deal on SwissBorg was a 250 or 170. I'll try and find it. FDV. In fact, I've got it here. I'm pretty sure it was 178 million FDV. It's currently trading at 845. So that's like a 5-6x. But it was trading at over $1 billion at one point. So yeah, very bullish on Carv. And I think the way it works is if you took part in the alpha deal, you get airdropped Carv tokens throughout the course of the vesting period. So yeah, that should be quite nice.
All I can see right now is your body down from your lips to your soft fingertips.
So Opulus, I think they had an announcement today. I didn't actually see it, but Opulus seem to have announcements all the time. In terms of Flame, still bullish on it. I still think it'll do well. Like I was saying earlier, it's just a matter of being patient with some of the lower market cap altcoins that maybe haven't gained hype yet. Went through a bit of a period, probably in here to be fair, last or early in 2024, where launchpads were like the flavour of the month. It was the launchpad narrative phase, and every project that was a launchpad just took off. Flame done really well then. That hype's kind of died away because a lot of the tokens they were listing haven't necessarily performed across launchpads as a category. I think that will return. I think once there's excess liquidity in the system, people want to list tokens, and by listing tokens they use the launchpad gains traction, and that's how we see token price like this. So yeah, I know everybody thinks because we don't talk about them every single day we've lost faith, but you'll know if we ever lose faith in a token. Claim we haven't lost faith in. Velo, yeah, it looks really bullish to be honest, in my opinion. On the weekly 3-day chart, just coiling up in this kind of tight range here after breaking out. If we actually zoom out as well, you can see slowly been grinding up. This check back over the last few days hasn't actually been that bad. So this here was its local high in 2024. Most altcoins peaked around March. Velo peaked in May, but when we had this run up end of November into December, obviously everybody knows the market completely sold off, and most altcoins fell back below that March, April, May high. Velo's one of the few coins that didn't, and actually has held it as support. It's actually used this candle top from May as support, so that's really bullish. I do think we'll see some price movement. Again, it's quite a low market cap coin, so when these things move, they move quite quickly. Even if we look at from February to May, it pumped 500%. I don't think those types of moves are out the question for something like this. You look at the levels it's fighting against as well. It's this area here from June 2022, and it was support in March 2022. So let's just draw that on. So you know, we're battling with this level here. We close above that, and you're talking about, you know, a 2x, maybe a 3x move, all the way up somewhere in and around here. So depending on where it breaks out, that's kind of what you'd be looking for. So yeah, very bullish chart action. This is a great chart for anyone that loses faith or has been knocked confidence recently because of the price action. But the total market cap for the entire Bitcoin and crypto space is still above the 2021 high. And if we think about the euphoria, the excitement, all the liquidity that poured into the market then, and we're still above it right now, even though we're talking about central banks hiking interest rates, bond rates soaring, and of course recession, unemployment, all these things that everybody's scaremongering, World War III, whatever you want to talk about, and we're still above this all-time high. It just shows you that the biggest impact on crypto and asset prices isn't the asset or the crypto, it's the devaluing of the US dollar underneath. Because despite all the headwinds, despite all the negativity, we're still at a 3.2 trillion market cap, which is an all-time high range. You know, we only peaked at 3 trillion in 2021. We're above that now. And if you read the news, you'd think we're on the brink of the worst economic collapse since 1929. So for me, this is a really bullish chart. It just kind of shows you how high we actually are, even though everybody's so bearish talking about Bitcoin crashing. The altcoin market as well is just currently messing about with this fib at the 702 level. 702 level is quite an important level in crypto. If we draw it from the 2021 high, we can see that we're actually holding this as support. For me, the next logical move is to break the previous all-time high for the altcoin market, and target is 2.5 trillion. If we do see that move up across the all-time high, probably test it as support. What I would expect is if we do break above it, something like that, then I think altcoins will go crazy, and I think we'll see some absolutely insane moves in price. So yeah, it does look, to me, I'm super bullish. I think the market looks primed. Just looks like a coiled spring. Just looks like everything is falling into place at the exact time. And I think the fact that everybody's saying sell the news, or Trump's going to disappoint, or it's too good to be true, it's too easy, that all tells me that actually being bullish is the right move right now. Because when there's doubt, that's the best time to be bullish, in my opinion. Fear and doubt is when you should be bullish. Let's check out Bitcoin dominance. So it continues to drop lower. Obviously, we've had a bit of a bounce this week with a sell-off. We always see that when the wider market sells off, money stays in Bitcoin longer than alts. Still think this is the top. Still think we're on the downward trajectory, and yeah, we should see that coincide with the total 2 breaking out into all-time highs. Here's this chart in CC Pro as well. This is why I'm so bullish. This is the Fed's balance sheet in the States. You can see between 2008 and 2014, they printed $3.6 trillion just printed out of thin air. But at that time there was only 9 trillion worth of debt. So that's only like a 1-to-3 ratio. We're now down to 6-7 trillion, but there's almost 40 trillion in debt. There's 36 trillion. There's a lot more coming. So this is just going to explode higher, and this is where the liquidity is going to come from. And if anybody wants to know when that'll happen, it'll likely happen when this is called the reverse repo. We've covered it before. When this gets back down to these levels here, this is when they're going to print money. So drop 10% this week. If we drop another 10% next week, they're going to have to step in and get involved very quickly. I don't think it'll be on this, Skylar. Nah. To be fair, the virtual protocol is pretty cool. So they started with, so it's like AI agents or AI bots. I think Luma was the first one. Very well. So yeah, I do think AI agents, AI bots, whatever you want to call them, seem to be the narrative, the hot narrative right now. Momate is launching on BorgPad next week. So you can see they've already done Solana ID, I think it's up 3x. Borgy at its peak done what, a 60, maybe a 70x. So Momate launches on the 14th of January. It's going to be in Solana now, not Borg tokens. I think they've updated it. Maybe they've not. It will be getting updated. But yeah, it's AI agents. So you can go on, you can create your own AI agent, and then you can monetize that AI agent. So when people use it, interact with it, you can earn mates tokens through it. So quite cool. Same as virtuals. There's going to be loads of them by the end of this cycle, I would imagine. Yeah, I think so, C-Mac. I think all it takes is a bit of liquidity. It doesn't take a lot to move these coins. So as soon as Bitcoin breaks into all-time high, 100k plus territory, Ethereum, the real catalyst for this entire market move that we're all wanting is Ethereum to break a new all-time high. Once Ethereum breaks out above this level here, that's when the proper alt season bull run kicks off, in my opinion. Obviously, we've got coins that can do huge pumps before then. I mean, Ethereum itself can do, what, 25%? So, times that by a small market cap. I was looking at Filecoin, for example. Filecoin, just back to the March high, is 126%. That likely happens before Ethereum even breaks into new all-time high. So imagine what happens when Ethereum does break new all-time high. Ethereum is the king of the alts. Don't care what anyone says about Solana, about any other chain. Ethereum's the king of the alts. Always will be. Unless something drastic happens that we can't forecast. But for now, Ethereum breaking this level here around $4,100 is what's going to kickstart huge altcoin rallies. And the bullish thing for me is we've tested it 3 times. We tested it here twice. Generally, supports and resistances break on the 3rd time asking. So I'm pretty confident when we come up the next time, we'll do something like this. Come up. We'll consolidate just below the resistance level. Everybody will say that we're not going to break through it, sell resistance, start shorting the market, and that's when we'll get the blast off through it. And I actually think that'll come sooner than people think. I think we could see that at the end of January, and if we do, then Ethereum's destined for 5k, and that is just going to propel so much FOMO, so much attention, and so much liquidity into altcoins that you'll see 20-30% rallies in a day. From a chart perspective, it looks not too bad, to be fair. So one of the things you normally look for on charts is confluence, and that's just more than one thing that tells you the same story. So here we've got quite a few things. So we came back to the 200-day moving average on daily chart, which is quite a hard support resistance to break. So hopefully it can hold that level. It's also a previous resistance level twice before. So it's also, actually, let's drag it back. Around there. You can also see there was a support level back in June 2023. There's kind of 3 confluences that this probably is the bottom for this move. And yeah, we hold this level. You might get a wick below it, but as long as you don't get a daily close below 176, 175, then you could probably expect quite a nice reaction. Let's see what the oscillators are saying. Yeah, so oversold on the 4-hour chart, a bit of double bottom on the 4-hour chart as well, if you look at it like that. So that's pretty bullish as well. So I'd be expecting this to be the bottom for Synthetix. Yeah, let's cover DOT and then OCC, and we can just talk about Borg in between. So Polkadot, to be fair, I mean, still, it's kind of similar to what I said earlier about some of the OG coins. I do think it will do well. There's so many coins like Polkadot, Algorand, V-Chain, Chainlink. There's loads of these older coins that have been threatening to actually do something real for years. So maybe this is the cycle where they actually come through. Very undervalued in my opinion. Again, back to a level of this blue line. If you look at it, was a previous resistance. So again, could have bottomed here if the market plays out the way we think next week. Then you could see quite a nice move, and it does seem to move. There's not a lot of sell pressure in the chart. It's just that, like all altcoins, they get absolutely killed when Bitcoin sells off. OCC. Not the best chart in the world. Probably looks one of the weakest charts we've covered tonight, to be fair. But as long as it doesn't break this low, then we should see a reversal. Quite a low market altcoin as well, so I do think that whole DeFi space could make a comeback. But yeah, not the best looking chart, to be fair. Let's talk about, so Borgie 100 mil. I'd like to think so. The team, I know they're trying to do some different things with Borgie to actually give it some sense of utility, because the problem with Borgie is too insular. So everybody that bought it is a part of the SwissBorg community, which is great, give it a massive pump. But the problem is where do you go next? And in order to capture that other market, so like the other communities, other people, just degens in general, it's quite hard when something's already at a 20 million market cap. So you see this quite a lot as coins that actually do really well from the off. That actually is a problem long term, because then new buyers don't want to step in, new communities don't want to step in. So yeah, I still think it's possible. It's got the backing of SwissBorg, so yeah, it could do really well. The team need to come up with some ideas on how they're going to attract new investors. As soon as they do that, then we could see some nice price action from it. Any thoughts on the recent Antara pump? It was due. Yeah, I don't have any inside knowledge. I have tried to get some, but I've been told nothing confirmed at the moment, so nothing we can share. And what is the catalyst for the Borg pump? Well, there's a few things. So this is why I'm so bullish on SwissBorg. So there's a few things that's causing Borg to pump. One, Borg pad. Every time there's a Borg pad deal, it uses some Borg tokens, which not only causes buy demand because you need Borg tokens to take part in the Borg pad launches, but also because there is then a supply shock because some of the Borg tokens get burned. So every time there's a Borg pad deal, there's going to be some amazing price action from Borg, in my opinion, especially as they get bigger. I think it started at like 200k, 250k. I think Momate's 350k. They're gradually getting bigger. So every time they get bigger, it's going to have a bigger supply and demand shock on the Borg token. Then you've got SwissBorg as itself. So for anyone in the UK, you'll know trying to trade crypto is impossible. For Bybit, BitGet, some of these exchanges, they're all pulling out of the UK. So what that means is somebody like SwissBorg, who's regulated, who does things properly, they're going to capture more and more market share. More people using the platform, more people buy Borg, more people trade in Borg. It's all bullish for Borg. I do think the user number for SwissBorg is going to go through the roof in this bull run, and a large part is just because of the EU regulators are clamping down on, for a better word, all these Asian exchanges like Bybit, Mexi, things like that. So yeah, that's why Borg is doing so well. I don't know how true this is, but I've just been sent this. I mean, obviously this could just be absolute clickbait, which wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, given Ash Crypto, because he shares absolute dross. I don't know if this is true, so take it with a pinch of salt. Apparently Meta are proposing to add Bitcoin to their treasury. I don't know if I believe that, but I do know for a fact that it won't be long before a big Mag 7 type company adds Bitcoin to their balance sheet. What I do find interesting is Zuckerberg's move from cancel culture, Biden, Democrat. Now he's on Joe Rogan, he's talking about not censoring people, having community notes, not deleting posts and things. So the shift in Zuckerberg is huge, and Meta's, regardless of what anybody thinks of Facebook, it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So yeah, take that with a pinch of salt, I would say. Alright, let's do a couple more coins. Let's do XLM, up nicely, to be fair. It'll do well when XRP does well. You can see a similar trend. Not as deep a pullback with the rest of the market, similar to XRP. But yeah, it'll go to new all-time highs as soon as XRP does. So I guess if you're really bullish on XRP, then you could hedge and have a bit of XLM as well and make twice the money. But yeah. And let's see, Moonbeam. I think I've got it in here. Oh yeah, I do. Didn't see it for looking. So yeah, Moonbeam, hopefully it holds this level. If it holds this level here, you would say it was looking alright. Came back, tested this September peak. This is one I hold. Chart doesn't look amazing, but a lot of charts look the same. I hold this on SwissBorg and you can actually earn yield, and it's pretty strong, to be fair. I think you earn tokens every day. I don't think the lockup's too crazy either. And yeah, it's a good way of getting your average price down because you're getting free tokens. So every token that you get is priced at 0, so you can average down without adding any more capital to the market. So if you've not looked at those earn strategies on SwissBorg or anywhere, to be fair, Camino, Meteora, there's loads of platforms out there that offer yield on coins that you hold. I think that's an easy way of earning free tokens, reducing your buy price, and yeah, having more upside potential without adding more capital to the market. And for anyone that's not in CC Pro, so CC Pro is our community Discord. It's a private members group. We have daily members updates, we've got loads of tutorials, we obviously bring any information we have that can give people an edge in the markets. Today we released our top 5 XRP memes with a tutorial on how to buy them, although I do know it's not the best bot in the world, it's not as good as BonkBot, but if you persevere you can buy those memes. We've also got the podcast, we've got streams, we do members only streams, we have the CC Pro bot basket which is in full profit right now. So yeah, if you're not a member, the link is pinned Let me try and copy it actually without breaking this stream, which seems so temperamental. There you go, that's the link. Sign up there. Yeah, you get all the inside information. You also get loads of profit taking, loads of help with setting up your portfolio and advice. And yeah, if you're not in it, to be honest, you're missing out, because this could be the most important quarter for building wealth, setting you up for the rest of your life. Alright, before we finish off, I want to cover this SwissBorg question from Fraser. Great question. So, SwissBorg, if anyone's been following SwissBorg for a while, everything they do, they vote on. They ask the community. So it's completely community controlled. SwissBorg are talking about moving liquidity from Arbitrum to Base. Now, SwissBorg has ridiculous amounts of liquidity across Solana and Arbitrum right now. So moving the liquidity will have zero effect on the token. But what they are trying to do is just capture another audience. So they're trying to capture that base audience, obviously different fees. I don't think Arbitrum's the most popular network in the world anyway. If SwissBorg wasn't on it, I don't think I would hold anything on it. Although maybe Virtuals is on SwissBorg actually. So yeah, so for me, I think moving to Base can only be a positive. It can only offer upside. There's no downside to me. Plus, if Base takes off, Coinbase, the biggest crypto exchange in the US, if it takes off, it does well, then it's just exposure to new buyers. And ultimately, that's all that matters in this market, is who's going to buy your token, how are people going to find it, and how are people going to trade it. So if they can expose themselves to another audience, then yeah, fair play, crack on, is my honest opinion. And to be fair, they've done everything very well and executed really well so far, so I don't doubt them at this point. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back in the next few days with some more live streams. Make sure you're in CC Pro. If you're not, you will be missing out on a lot of information that could not only help you make money, but stop you from losing money in the upcoming quarter, which I think is going to be one of the most bullish quarters we've seen. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much. Catch you again soon.